Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2026 and we are back with another episode. Welcome back to For Fight's Sakes, where we'll be breaking down every punch, every takedown, and every fight highlight that is happening right now in combat sports. Today we'll be zeroing in on UFC 324, and that's Justin Gaethje versus Pimblett. It's been said everywhere, it's the new Paramount deal. I don't really know what that means for us, the fans, but it seems to be a very big deal for the UFC, so this is the first fight on that deal. Unfortunately, we are back to waking up in the AMs to watch fights. The main event will be starting at 2 a.m. in South Africa on Sunday. The fights that I'm going to be really looking forward to in the prelims are Gaethje. This guy's been tearing up the whole division. From when he was in the fighter series till now, he is a very promising up-and-coming fighter, and the power on this guy is ridiculous. It will be a very nice test to really see if he's really got it, because according to me, he's still got a long way to go. He's not as well-rounded as I would like to see him, but there's enough time to grow in the UFC. We've seen guys do it, so I'm not really worried about that. I think his power will carry him as far as he needs to go for now. The next fight we're going to be looking at is Umar Nurmagomedov versus Deiveson Figueiredo. I think this is going to be a banger. Losing to Merab is really not the worst thing that could have happened. That guy's a beast, man. And I have to say that in the beginning, in the few first rounds, Umar was doing great. I think he got gassed out, and I think he's not going to let that happen again. Or even if he wants to let it happen again, I don't think the Khabib camp is going to let that happen. So Deiveson Figueiredo is a guy that you cannot sleep on at all. His losses are coming from Corey Sandhagen and Petr Yan, which are really great fighters. But his recent fight was against Jackson, and he won that one. So let's see if he can make another run at the title. I think he's a very good contender, but I think that trilogy with Moreno really drained and it took a lot out of him. And so we don't see that same Figueiredo anymore, but I think Umar is going to really show up for this one. Guys, let's jump straight into the main card. The main card, we're looking at Arnold Allen versus John Silver. Whew. Everyone's been saying that Allen is going to take it, and I can't say I don't see it happening either. John Silver can be very reckless, but that does not take away from the dangerous fighter that he is. I think that fight that John Silver had with Diego Lopez, the past fight, I'm not calling it a lucky shot, but I think he was well in the fight. Diego, don't get me wrong, he was great. He still deserved to win that fight. I think regardless of that spinning elbow, he would have still won the fight. But what a fight. Oh man, everyone keeps going on about his power, so we're going to see. He's going to need every bit of it when it comes to John Silver. Stay tuned to the end of this video. I will be giving you my predictions and letting you know who I think will be taking these fights home and the money home. The next fight I want to be looking at is the women's flyweight bout, and that's Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Natalia Silva is nothing to play with. This girl is ridiculous. Rose Namajunas has been off on a break. I wouldn't say a break because she did fight recently, like last year in June, but before that she was really not in it. Guys, Silva has not lost since 2017, and she has had 13 fights since then, and she hasn't lost any one of them. That's crazy. That is crazy business. 7-fight win streak. Rose Namajunas, obviously being the former strawweight champ, is coming in with the experience. But I mean, just what I just told you now will let you know that Silva has the experience as well. Maybe not at the caliber of fights that Namajunas has had. And on the other hand, when you look at Natalia Silva, I don't think she's really been put under deep water. Namajunas is sharp. She's got the experience in the UFC. I think the pressure's there. The ability to handle the pressure is there. But she's got a lot of work to do. But Natalia Silva is on her rise, and I don't think she's going to be able to stop. Namajunas will be able to stop her. So the next fight we're going to be looking at is Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. I'm really interested to see how that fight goes. More so, I'm actually interested to see how Derek Lewis has changed, because I've been watching his embedded series, and the beast is looking sharp, man. Looks like he's cut off a bit of weight. I don't think that will do anything to his power, but I think that it might help him reach those higher rounds, round 4, round 5, without really getting gassed as he used to. He's joked around and said that he doesn't want the 5-round fights, but the way he's been looking and the dedication that he's been putting in right now, I think he's built up on that gas tank, and that's a dangerous Derek Lewis, because that's the one thing that I would say was missing in his overall game as a heavyweight. But he's going up against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Not a bad fight at all. Both fighters have lost to Pavlovich. But Spivak has the win over Lewis, but Cortez Acosta was able to get away with that one. Waldo has been one of the most active heavyweight fighters right now in the UFC, so that is playing to his favor, because I think that experience is going to count for something when it comes to fighting someone like Derek Lewis. The next fight we're going to be looking at is Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Before we carry on with this fight, can I just say shout out to Amanda Nunes? Bro, I can't remember the last time that woman ever backed out from a fight, I'm not saying that Kayla Harrison chickened out or anything like that, but shout out to Nunes for never backing down to a fight. She's always been ready to fight whoever is in that number 1 spot, and it was the same this time around. And I think that's why Kayla Harrison is not willing to risk it by doing anything stupid like getting into the octagon with an injury or something like that. Amanda Nunes is nothing to play with, bro. So, going in, Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. We're talking about number 3 ranked Sean O'Malley versus number 5 ranked Song Yadong. Man, Song Yadong, bro, like, that guy's really got a chin on him, bro. I've seen him go through some pretty sluggish fists in that octagon, and he's just standing and he just keeps going forward, bro. But with someone like Sean O'Malley, he might want to be a bit careful, because he does have that striking accuracy that is just elite and top tier. And if he lands one of those punches, hey, man, ask Aljo what happens, bro. I'm just saying. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying, Look, Song Yadong brings volume and adaptability. He's not your typical bantamweight brawler. So I think he'll be good with keeping the distance and trying to dodge those accurate strikes and the precision striking that comes with Sean O'Malley. The kicks too. So yeah. I mean, right now it's really crazy in the UFC, because a lot of our old fighters I wouldn't say old fighters, but a lot of our veteran fighters are saying that this might be their last chance to go at the title. So this year being 2026 is really going to be interesting, because we might lose a lot of our veterans, a lot of our esteemed fighters, but at the same time we'll be getting a lot of new blood who is really hungry. But it's sad, because Sean O'Malley has said it, and now Justin Gaethje has said it. So it will be interesting to see if any one of them can reach that title shot before retiring again. Petr Yan right now is the guy. So let's see how that goes. All 3 of these guys, being Sean O'Malley, Petr Yan, and Merab, they've just been circulating this belt between them. So it's really crazy. It's a crazy time in the UFC for the bantamweight division. So I'm really excited for 2026. And so, just in the highlight, Gaethje coming in with a 26-5. The former interim champ and ex-BMF title holder until Max Holloway came into the picture. He's got a career highlight of 20 KO wins, man. They don't call him the highlight for nothing. He was just saying earlier on a UFC video with Michael Bisping that he had 9 bonuses out of 7 fights. Hey, bro, Justin is a beast. Like I said, he's one of the guys that has said that this might be his last title run. And if he does not come away with this win, he might really consider retiring, which is all fair. I mean, it is the fight game. I don't think anyone wants to be knocked in the head all those times, but it would be a loss to see him go. I'll say that. Because anyone who's watched the Justin Gaethje fight knows that standing up with Justin Gaethje is just not the way to go. It's the craziest thing you could ever do, bro. The people that have had success fighting Justin Gaethje are Charles Oliveira, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and I don't have to tell you what those 2 guys have in common. It's the grappling, right? Which Paddy Pimblett happens to be good at. So I really hope that Paddy Pimblett does not try to stand up with Justin Gaethje, because as Hausa is going to get knocked out. I'm telling you now. I think he's actually going to win the title at some point, and I think he's one of the guys that's going to hold it for a long time. He's a pretty well-rounded fighter. He's been in the game for long. You've seen him take on Navy guys with 6-7 guys. So I don't really understand why he would want to stand up with Justin Gaethje, especially considering the fact that he leaves his chin up in the air. And that's the last thing you want to do with Justin Gaethje. Another thing we want to look at is that Paddy Pimblett's fights don't really go to the 5th round, which tells you a lot, is that he puts on the pressure. But putting on the pressure means closing the gap, closing the distance. Is that something you want to do with Justin Gaethje? And I think within the first 2 rounds, we're going to see Justin Gaethje hitting a lot of leg kicks, and that's going to drive Paddy Pimblett to shoot for the legs and shoot for the takedowns, which might not really be as easy as everyone thinks, considering Justin Gaethje's wrestling and his takedown defense. At the end of that night, Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett will be the lightweight interim champion as of then. Interesting. So guys, as promised, let's go through my fight picks. We're going to be looking into the prelims to start off with. And like I said, Gaethje Gutierrez, I think he might be taking this one. So I would go for him on that bout. Looking at the bantamweight bout, I think Umar Nurmagomedov is going to take this fight versus Davison Figueiredo. Next fight is Arnold Allen versus Jean Silva. I think Jean Silva is going to take that fight. I'm not taking anything away from Arnold Allen and his power, but I think Silva will take that bout. When it comes to the women's flyweight bout, I do think Natalia Silva will come out with that one. When it comes to Waldo Costa and Derek Lewis, that's the heavyweight bout. I think Derek Lewis will take that fight. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. I think Song Yadong is on his rise. For the final fight, that's a lightweight interim title bout. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. I think Paddy Pimblett is going to take this fight by submission, and I think it might happen a bit earlier than what we think. Maybe 2nd or 3rd round. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to 4 Fight 6. I'm looking forward to these fights. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say and who you think is going to be the lightweight interim champion at the end of that night. Godspeed, ladies and gentlemen. Keep well. Have a good one. Cheers.